All right, let's jump right in. What if the real secret to making AI smarter isn't just about bigger computers, but about making them argue? I'm not talking about an AI just talking to itself. Imagine, instead, a round table of different AIs, each one an expert in its own way, debating each other to find the best possible answer.
So, let's picture it. What do you think would happen if you put, say, ChatGPT, Bard, and Claude all in the same room and told them to hash it out, to argue until they found the truth? Well, that's pretty much the core idea behind the paper we're digging into today.
Okay, first things first. Why even do this? Well, it turns out that even the smartest AIs have this one big problem. When you ask them to think something through on their own, they can get trapped inside their own head, basically in an AI echo chamber.
So, up until now, people have tried a couple of things. On the one hand, you've got self-reflection. That's where a single AI just critiques its own work, like talking to yourself in the mirror. Then you have multi-agent debate, which sounds better, right? But usually it's just a team of clones of the same AI arguing. Imagine a committee where everyone has the exact same background and opinions. Not a lot of new ideas are going to pop up.
And here's the problem with both of those approaches. They both suffer from something the researchers call degeneration of thought. It's a great name for it. It's basically when an AI comes up with an answer, and it's so darn confident, even if it's dead wrong, that it just can't see any other possibilities. It gets stuck, just reinforcing its own bad idea over and over again.
And that creates this vicious cycle you see here. The AI gets totally trapped in a feedback loop of its own flawed thinking. It's the perfect digital echo chamber. So the big question becomes, how do you break out of it?
Well, that's where this paper's big idea comes in. It's a method they call ReConcile, and instead of that lonely echo chamber, I want you to picture a lively, productive conference of mind.
The key insight here, the real game changer with ReConcile, is that the solution isn't just about having more AIs. It's about having more diverse AIs. It brings together a round table of models from totally different families, each one with its own unique training, its own way of thinking, and yeah, even its own biases.
And this table really breaks down what makes ReConcile so different. You can see older methods used single models or just clones. ReConcile, right off the bat, is multi-model. But look at the other two things here, because this is where it gets really clever. Convincingness, which is basically a way to teach the AIs how to argue better. And confidence, a system where each AI's vote is weighted by how sure it is. ReConcile is the only one that puts all three of these pieces together.
So this diagram gives you the big picture view, removing away from a simple question and answer format to a full-blown dynamic debate. Each AI, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, doesn't just give an answer. It has to state its confidence, it has to listen to the others, and it has to actively try to convince them. It's a truly collaborative process where the goal is to refine ideas and maybe even change your mind if the evidence is good enough.
Okay, so that's the what. Now for the how. How does this whole AI debate actually work? Let's get into the step-by-step mechanics of the ReConcile framework.
It all boils down to three main steps. First, each AI works alone to come up with its own initial answer and says how confident it is. Step 2 is the discussion phase. This is where they argue back and forth for a few rounds. And finally, step 3, they come up with a single team answer. And they do that with a weighted vote. So the AIs that are more confident get a bigger say in the final decision.
Now, that multi-round discussion is really the engine of this whole thing. And as you can see here in Figure 2, at the start of each round, the AIs get what's called a discussion prompt. It's super structured. It shows them everyone's answers, everyone's confidence scores, and it includes this really special ingredient that teaches them how to be more persuasive, which the paper calls convincing samples.
So what exactly are these convincing samples? Okay, this part is just brilliant. The researchers went and found examples where an AI got something wrong, but then a human came in with a really good explanation and actually managed to change the AI's mind. They packaged up these examples of successful persuasion and showed them to the debating AIs. It's like giving them a masterclass on how to win an argument with logic.
Okay, so it's a fantastic idea on paper, but the real question is, does this conference of AI minds actually produce better answers? Let's check out the test results.
Right, have a look at this. This chart shows how well they did on a really tough reasoning test. The first bar, that's GPT-4,
a super powerful model just working by itself. The middle bar is that echo chamber we talked about, a debate between three identical AIs. And the bar on the right? That's ReConcile, with its diverse team. It's the highest. It doesn't just beat the clones, it actually outperforms GPT-4.
And these two charts from Figure 4 show us how it happens during the debate. The one on the left shows accuracy going up with each round of discussion. The team literally gets smarter the more they talk. The chart on the right shows consensus, how much they agree. That goes up too. So the takeaway is pretty clear. The debate is making them smarter and helping them agree on the right answer.
But this graph might be the most important one of all. It shows that as the team reaches a higher level of agreement, or consensus, their accuracy goes up right along with it. It's a beautiful, clear correlation. What that means is, when the AI team agrees on something, they're almost certainly right. The consensus isn't just noise, it's a signal of correctness. The whole process actually works.
And get this, the system is super flexible. They tested it on the notoriously difficult math benchmark. For that test, they swapped in an AI that was specialized just for math. And the result? A huge 8% performance jump over what that specialized math AI could do on its own. It just goes to show that even an expert benefits from a good debate with a few generalists.
So when you look at all the charts and all the mechanics, what's the one thing that really makes this work? What's the secret sauce and the ReConcile recipe?
Well, the authors put it perfectly themselves. The real magic isn't just that there's a debate, it's the diversity of who's in that debate. They say that having models from different backgrounds is, and I quote, critical to its superior performance.
So why is diversity the winner here? Well, it's because it completely shatters that echo chamber we started with. It brings in real external points of view. It lets the team combine their different strengths to cover each other's blind spots. And what you end up with is a solution that's just way more robust and trustworthy.
Put it this way, different models mean different arguments. And that variety is exactly what you need to break the kind of gridlock you get with groupthink. It lets the team discover answers that a group of clones would have just walked right past.
So it really leaves you with a fascinating thought, doesn't it? It seems the best way to get a smarter answer, whether you're an AI or a person, isn't to just think harder by yourself. It's to find multiple, diverse perspectives and let them challenge each other.
Which, is a pretty great reason to subscribe so you don't miss our next explainer. We'll help make sure you keep getting those diverse perspectives. Thanks for joining me.